Hello Leo, Leo Rising and Leo Moon people. This is your weekly astrological and card forecast for the week starting January 2nd, 2016. Brand new year. Happy New Year to you. And a quick reminder for you guys to remember that Tarot Tutorship online classes start on the 8th. So if you want to sign up for that, you do need to reserve your spot. You can do so at my website, integrativemysticism.com. I'll be sending out all kinds of forms and reading material at the end of this week, just in time for class. And of course, this is the same website you would go to if you want to get a session with me. So what is going on with your astrology this week? Well, in the beginning of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, we do have the Sun forming a charming sextile to Mars between Sagittarius, your 5th house of love and romance, and Pisces, your 8th house of shared resources, intimacy, and passive income. And this is definitely going to be focusing on the intimacy for a lot of Leo people. In fact, this could actually be a very steamy romantic opportunity for a lot of you, and at the risk of sounding too smutty, you guys are actually going to be spending a lot of intimate private time out of public with your sweetheart. In fact, actually your partner may be making time, or maybe even a bit more demanding for more of that attention, but I don't think you're going to be against it. With the Sun also connected to Mars in this fashion, it's important to pay attention to where your partner and you are trying to turn over a new leaf in your relationship this week. And there may not have been anything wrong in the first place, but a new leaf is a new leaf nonetheless. And it actually is, again, going to be wonderful for gelling a new relationship, or even polishing, or maybe even making some improvements to an existing one. But again, very hot and heavy all week. Later on, we've got Mercury retrograde sliding all the way back into Sagittarius. And this is going to be an interesting opportunity for you and a partner to try something or get something back off the ground that we wanted to do, or revisit an event or an idea that we wanted to have back in the, October, November 2016 time. Because when Mercury goes back into this area, it's about, giving us a second chance, or giving something a second chance when it comes to relationships. This could be a second chance for those of you who are single to bump into somebody that you had a chance with, or that you maybe were talking to, or flirting up, or chatting up around that time as well. So there's going to be, again, a lot of second chances in love, or even do-overs in love for the Leo people this week. For your spiritual advice, we do have the card of Astrology. Okay, and Astrology is talking all about sensuality and being able to actually enjoy being a little bit more of an animal this week, Leo. And I like that because for a lot of you, we haven't seen a lot of opportunities for that just yet. Not in a while. We've been a little out of season, at least as far as intimacy for the sake of intimacy's sake is going. It's been a little bit dispassionate for a lot of Leo people. And with the Astrology, it's basically saying this week it's time to actually enjoy some more carnal pleasures, and, take the thinking out of it too much. Of course, we want to be smart and safe and countable, but also at the same time, where are we overthinking? Where is maybe, too much of the overthinking, or too much of the, of the psychological aspects of sensuality coming between us and truly being able to connect with another human being? We're going to be focusing on actually enjoying pleasure for pleasure's sake this week. Even if only for just this week, it could be a good habit to learn. For your Earth sector, when it comes to your work and finances, we do have the 9 of Pentacles upright. Great card for success, because usually the 9 of Pentacles talks about cashing in on something earlier than expected. And this could actually be a great payoff to some kind of new opportunity that you've already started, or a project that you just recently launched. If you're doing a new ad campaign, you're going to be noticing a lot of great feedback sooner than later. You could be also noticing that a submission, or maybe even a new job, is going to start paying way more than you even negotiated. But the 9 of Pentacles is talking about cashing in. One of the things I would say about the 9 of Pentacles upright is that you are going to be selected to be the individual receiving this. This might not necessarily go to an entire team. So if you do want to share your thanks, your gratitude by sharing the wealth later on, that would be great. But you might not be able to do that in the moment. For your communications with air, when it comes to your friends, your relatives, and the others in your life, we have the 5 of Pentacles inverted. And this could be a really sweet card for a lot of you Leo people, because this does indicate that an opportunity to maybe even heal over a long-term wound or maybe just dysfunction between you and a relative is going to be presenting itself. And if you did have a chance to reconnect with relatives over the holidays, or maybe you didn't, this is still going to say that somebody is trying to patch things up. The Five of Pentacles inverted almost always talks about recovery from loss, or maybe even the, moving away from or preventing a near loss. And in this case, I'm feeling like this is between a friend or a relative. Where have things become strained? Where have we become estranged from one another? Estranged from one another, I mean to say. The Five of Pentacles reverse is talking about patching up, again, and healing things together. For your challenge this week with fire, we do have the Ace of Wands upright. And this is, again, talking all about following, more, I guess you could say, carnal passions, more of our baser passions, and being a more well-balanced being because of it. The challenge with the Ace of Wands upright is basically saying here, where do you match the energy that is being presented to you? Because you're going to be noticing more people around you finally becoming more enthusiastic. Your lover, your friends, your co-workers are becoming more enthusiastic and having more high energy. This may be a little bit mistimed. Maybe you wish they would have done this a month ago. Well, we can't quibble over that. We just need to be able to, be grateful for when it happens. But the Ace of Wands upright, nonetheless, is saying your challenge is actually following your attraction, following, what is turning you on in a sense. Because sometimes we might, again, we might overthink things a little bit too much, or put too much intellectual or psychological significance into something, when we should just be enjoying something in the present, in the moment, as opposed to, wasting the day trying to think over every nuance. For your emotions with water and your romantic life, we do have the Page of Swords upright. And this card is basically saying you and a partner, you and perhaps even a crush or a new lover opportunity are going to finally be able to sit down and have that special 20 questions time with one another, get to know each other again. So here's where we get to have that psychological, Dr. Phil kind of moment. Because with the Page of Swords upright, it really is talking about getting to know each other, in a more multifaceted way. Not just about being in a relationship and wanting to have a family and let that just be it. In fact, with the Page of Swords upright, for those of you who are currently looking for new love, this might be a time to try your luck online. Sometimes we have good feelings about it, sometimes we don't. Whatever those feelings are, though, are irrelevant when the Page of Swords shows up, because it is saying that there could actually be good success there, regardless of history. And what I like about the Page of Swords is that, again, it's talking about quicker developments and a meeting of the minds. And allow that to happen, and allow to perhaps allow yourself and your partner to have a chance to get to know each other through your psychology together, learning to understand each other as friends, not just as potential love or partners or lovers, and you will actually get a more satisfying, and deeper relationship from that person this week. So that is your forecast, Leo. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you'd like to get a session, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.